Hi there. Today we are going to see in practice how Lambda functions work within Amazon Web Service and how we can find the service and how can we create our first basic Lambda function. Well, as you might see my console, we can already see here different services including Lambda. But in case you can't find a Lambda service in your console, which is highly unlikely, just go in the top search option and type Lambda. Click on here and soon we are on the Lambda functions page, and here at the top right you see this orange button, create function. We have to click here on the create function. So here we can decide if we want to create a completely new function, or maybe we want to use a blueprint, or if we have any kind of template, or we can also use an image in case we have already images available and we want to deploy any container uh, directly from an image. But for this demonstration we will only be using author from scratch. So here we would be creating our new basic functions basically. So here we will be typing information. Here we have to give a function name. I would do recommend to please use function name which do make sense to you and they have some kind of business logic. But for sake of this demo, I will be using like demo lambda function, and below function name we have to use a runtime, which is a very important topic, because in runtime we have to select in which language we want our code to, or our function to run. Here in this case I would be using Python, but you can always choose the option you would like to choose. So Python 3.13. In architecture you can choose ARM64 or x86 64, which is quite the most common type of architecture which you would be using. So I would choose x86 64. And below that, you can also configure permissions. Like you can set up permissions like probably when this function would be executing on which triggers. But let's skip that. And we also skip the default execution rules. And here in additional configurations, we can also select few more options, but as this is our first basic function, so I would be skipping that at the moment. Just simply create function. It would take a little moments, and soon we should have our function ready. So here we go. Here we got our first function. Let me close this. Here we got our first function.